Today is the 10th of March, 2026. OB Nexus session continuing. Um, uh, 1 second. So, this video is very important. The Parasenstology framework, is the heart of is the heart of OB Nexus. It's one of the hearts of OB Nexus. What do I mean by that? So we have Parasenstology, P for Papa, E for Alpha, R for Romeo, A for Alpha, which means paranormal sense, paranormal sensory, and motive for sure. Um, Anything without Parasenstology is a heartless system. O for Oscar, B for Bravo, I for India is heart and soul in Igbo. And the strange emotion of the soul. So the system must around with your soul, first of all, and to deal with the cousin hypothesis. So what do I mean by all of this? So parasensotology, S for Sarah, E for Echo, N for Weber, S for Sarah, O for Oscar, T for Tango, O for Orange, F for Lima, O for Orange, T for Gold, Y for Yankee. Is sensology framework for paranormal senses, because things are extrasocial. I was obviously I'm neurodivergent. I'm tripolar. I did not know I was tripolar. I thought I was bipolar. But these are all machines that can't deal with neurodivergence is a heartless system. They have no heart. OBI Nexus is my constitutional business name. OB Nexus. So consider when you breathe, live, and work. And neurodivergence has to be neurodivergence inclusive, not because I knew I had to figure out the bipolar, tripolar, because things that have meanings, and I have three interpretations for every system. I said, so I am tripolar. I'm 3 person. Well, I'm not bipolar. I'm tripolar. And these are heartless by design. So we're trying to encode heartlessness into the SIGID protocol, or the inverse of heartlessness, which is N for November, S for Sarah, I for Indigo, G for Gold, I for India, everything, which is a humanized protocol with a linkable DEN file format. So Insigi is a human rights support system. Insigi Mucores. Insigi encodes Insigi encodes all the suffering. Things that you because breathing without living is suffering. Breathing without living is suffering, and that's my mantra. That's my mantra. That's my go-to. I don't know what that mantra means, but let me Google it. It's a mantra definition. That's my ultimatum. A mantra refers to a specific spiritual charm or meaningful sound thought to be existing. Is it thought or meaning is not documented? No. Mantra is a sacred word, symbolic of phrase believed to hold spiritual. No, I don't really care about that. So that's my ultimatum. That's my capsule, time capsule. So basically anything that locks people should be locked in them in time. Because if you want to waste all this time, you're gonna put them in a prison. The prison locks them in space. So those one having the spaces. This is called time only first. So time. I was born in time, so I have all of time because I'm really virgin. Because basically I can see the future and the past sometimes. And the future and the past, but I have to be born in time to do that. So space is just one aspect of time because everything takes time to process. Basically. So I'm born in time, so I have access to all of time, past, future, and present. This is one of bipolar, no. But I am not born in space, so I am born in spy time first, and only time first. And I was born in space. That means you can be born in half time and half space. So you can have access to half of the dimension when you're doing some processing, ADG processing things. So I am bipolar. I'm tripolar. So I am Uche. Uche can call me Mr. Uche Namdi. U for Mela, C for Charlie, H for Muhammad, E for Echo. OB Namdi, O for Oscar, B for Bravo, I for Indigo. Uche means heart, and OB means Uche means knowledge, and OB means heart and soul. Eze means leader or king. Eze is a king. He leads. He's a leader, so you can call him Eze, but that's his name. So the naming convention is literally because of the heredity of the human being and what they done to do the religion or not. To develop their own personal development. So my own business constitution is a personal development framework. Personal development is like you develop yourself in space and time based on how you look, what you wear, how you behave, how you act. So we just that's just Namdi, that's just Sarah, that's just Charlie, that's just um, Dad Dylan, that's just Uche, that's just Obi speaking, that's just Eze talking. It's instinctive. So, I made personal development because I didn't believe in John Cobb's version of political development, but it is from the heart to the world. Literally, okay, so the Harley systems are literally these things called computers: AMD Ryzen X, GeForce RTX, NVIDIA, because they're all too rigid and they don't provide your senses. The senses is very important to the mind, and if you can wear it on you, it's not going to be good enough to have a system. But 240 hertz monitor will only do bad in your eye when you need more glasses, when you need more things to preserve what you can see. So it's Parasenstology because it's paranormal sensory for understanding me, myself, and my tripolar self. The computer was able to encode this within a single protocol. It has to be the codec. The codec has to be sensory bound too, via paranormal sensory infrastructure. I don't know when I see this stuff and when I put in the future. Because I had a vision when I was like 14 years old, no, 13 years old, just before turning 14, about the killing of students in Israel. Now I'm 24 years old. A decade later, I saw it on the news in the war here. In Iran kills their own children, students, because they're killing students because of some kind of dispute. I don't know. I don't think it was IQ related, but because of the war, ongoing war coming to this day. Basically, this is 11. This is 11. This is the 14th day into the war. No, this is the 15th day, which is Tuesday, into the war. And I heard that 10 days, 5 days ago, that was 10 days on the 10th, on the 10 days into the war over Iran and US. So, those things I don't really know why I have those visions, but those are paranormal sensory infrastructure. So it cannot be just sense alone that I have. I have paranormal sense, So I can see stuff outside my field of view in time. So yeah, I have three axes. I have which is one axis can go in time, in space, which can go in space because we are physical beings, but physical. I can project. I should project in three places at once. At once, but I have to be there physically and mentally. I can be in three places. I have a third of reality, so I exist in three states at once. I'm tripolar. So the goal is not to diagnose people, but to to literally classify all the kind of thing systematically, so we know what we're dealing with ourselves. I don't know constitution, so I'm glad we're doing this for everyone in the future of Biafra and sovereignty. But I'm not killing people, so it has to preserve what we already have there. So that's the very positive. I'm not giving people medication for them. I'm telling them to go discover themselves, literally. Um, so, okay, yes. What's the concept from? So, from the heart to the world, broadcast yourself. You can broadcast yourself, sensory into sensory information, peer to peer to peer topology. Basically, I'm looking reading on my notes here. So, Muco OS, M for Mike, U for Charlie, S for Mike, U for Umbrella, C for Charlie, O for Oscar. Muco OS. Now, Muco OS is literally the physical operating system that you live in. That's called OBNXS, a constitution. So one is called my one is called Muco OS, but OBNXS is a constitutional infrastructure architecture. So again, Muco OS is one constitution which I'm building, which can be very advanced. But mucus is like where you breathe, live in air. It's a human operating system. You're born in them, but you're operating on. You're operating on. When you just start with that. So you're gonna just get up and go in the operating system. It's an operating system. So it's a human operating system, but it's a physical operating system. So you're gonna have you're gonna have the digital, which is mucus OS, M for Mike, U for umbrella, K for kilo, O for Oscar, which would be the physical operating system of the system, and especially for anti-fragmentation of the all the five senses as in very important. Like your eyes, your taste, your touch, your nose, your hands, seeing stuff, so able to act on stuff. So you have five things you can act on and five things you can't act on. And those are the things you can't see, So unless you can act on them, let me show you, because it's still going for brand new things. So you got five things you can act on and see, five things you can act on you can't see, five things you can act on you can't see, and first thing you can't actually you can never you can't act on, but you can see. Basically based on QA matrix. QA matrix. I'm saying this is Q qualification matrix. I make the rules here. So the question show is like a true positive, true negative, false positive, and false negative. And this is type one error. So you're gonna have five four by or two by two matrix of five senses of 15 senses minimum. For example, you're gonna have 15. Let me do my calculator here. You can have 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 times 5 is 25. 10 plus 25 is 35. So 35 times 4, which will give you 140 senses that you can act on, that the only alternatives, which is 30, which is human rights framework. So, the goal is to have this system, use anything run through all the cases, 140 IQ tests. Every test case is bound by one code, like, can I see this thing? Can I act on it? Can I see this? Should I be acting on those systems, at this space in time? It makes to preserve yourself of the computer information. So, MookOS, M for Mike, F for Mike, Q for Mike, K for Kilo, O for also, is a human rights digital operating system. And it's meant to free your mind. Free your mind. That's developers. You try to free your mind. If you can build this, I'll be very happy. So all information, all jogging, but to actually free your mind, as it give you freedom to act on your human rights. It's gonna give you the freedom to get food when there's crisis. To say, hey, I need food. Hey, I need water. Hey, I need shelter. Because in Nigeria we do have that struggle too. So what else, Andy? Our next steps is to basically we are Romans. Even with the Roman numerals, we start out learning by the Latin. So we're Latino-Romanic Empire. We are basically acting very positive. So we have to preserve what we already know. And basically, anything, for example, if you have a CBD, you have a CBD there, but it's a Niger Congo language. So it's a Niger Congo language, but in CBD is Igbo, Yoruba, from Calabar, a lot of people from Igbo or Calabar people. I think the Calabar people are our cavemen, basically. No, one of our first innovators of what it is in Igbo culture. But we need to continue building it for ourselves. Not because if you don't build for yourself, you're gonna have the problem of using other people's framework. So we should have our own framework. So I'm saying to you, my framework is literally for the Calabar people, because all of them are Igbo, because the Niger Congo before they go Igbo, you got Calabar, you got Calabash, which is a drum, Calabash, which is a drum, I believe. But we have all the things that come from the weapons. But we have to innovate. We have to innovate ourselves so we can understand what we're talking about. This is ontology. This is a frame of reference. So anybody that says health or social care is disability, we have health enablement. To deal with that kind of problem. That's what I'm saying. That's very positive. Because we have to have our own framework so we can know what we're talking about. We cannot just say things are just one way or the other. We can't just say that binary. If we don't have our own framework, we will not be able to transcend or even descend. Because we have nothing to start from. We have no. Well, our own framework is like Equality Act 2026. Equity Act 2026. For human revolution. It has to be able to deal with some kind of aspect of reality we're in. I feel, if you don't have your own framework, people can bully you around. This when you go to China and do business with them, they can bully you around with their own laws, their own policies, and that's why it matters so much to me. I am saying, it was easy for me to file this in 202, 202, 203, 204 because I understand where I'm from, I understand how housing works. It was easy, it was intuitive because I come from a compound. I was born in a duplex. I was born with. Oh, my brother is a king. My brother was a king. My dad is not a king, but I have king power. I can go take my dad's powers and force laws, my own dad's powers in the UK. That one I don't really care about. That one I care about. There's so much, because I can make change, But I understand what housing was to me, and I'm not again disputing kind of housing in the UK, if I have chances to leave to Nigeria, find me housing, I'll buy housing, and I'll go to Nigeria and still get housed, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still deciding on the mental health act. So we have to have our own mental health act, so we can decide what disability is, we have to do it. So if they're holding for 3 years here, we'll hold it for 6 years, that's the goal. That's the policy there. Because the world needs are not a place to cherish them. It's a place to keep people idle in a state of take the time. Just without a president, you can take some basically you have to double the time for the so you can have 3 to 1 market because 3 to, so you can have double triple the time. So it's only so for 1 year in a small space like this is 5 units, 5 meters, 5 meters of space, and 5 and 5 is 10. 5 times 5 is 10, 25 meters of square space. Then we have times to the power of 3 times 3 times, okay, to the power of 3 of time would be time to the 5 times 60 times to the 5 divided by 1000, why 1000, 1 second in 1000, divided by times 6000, which would be 25 divided by 6,000, no, 25. So you're gonna have 25 kilometers of space divided by 1,000 will give me 0.025 seconds, nanoseconds, because there's 1,000, no, the 60,000 divided by 60,000, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 6,000, no, 60,000. There's 1,000, 255 divided by 1,000, which is 125 divided by 1,000. Oh, 60 seconds would be 60,000. 25 divided by 60,000. No, 60,000 divided by 25. 60,000 divided by 25 will give you 240 seconds. So 240 seconds. Is it seconds? This is 60,000. This is 1 second. This is nanoseconds. So nanoseconds of time wasted, but the time is still holding time. So that'll be to the power of 3. 6,000. 6,000 divided by 25. 240 nanoseconds to the power to the power 240 to the power of 3. 240 to the power of 3. Because this is consensual. So it has to be 3 times for yes, no, maybe. The power of 3 will be 1,300 or 1,300,000 824,000 minutes, seconds, hours, 13 hours. So 13 hours would be, because he's going to be to the power of 3. That's very positive. Yeah. But I don't care about the space to hold you in. I care about the time it takes. So the time for you to stay in the space has to be proportional, and it has to be for us, inverse proportion for us. So there's to be a 3-to-1 mapping, inverse proportion. So for every 1 second, for every time you're killing people, standing one person in a room, and you're just being secluded, you have to be able to have stay in this space for as long as the time demands. So I was there for 3 years. So the real policy, you should double that time. So let me try to double, triple it. So we can hold you for 3 times 3, 9 years of your life in a ward unit. 3 times 3 is 9 because it's consensual. 3 plus 3 is 9 years. 3 times 3 is 9. Because I was there for 3 years, locked in this unit. I able to. No. I'm not angry, guys. I am being equitable. I'm being equitable. I'm being fair to the highest point of the system in law. Because I'm not just putting just numbers there. I'm making a framework to hold people that actually detain me. That should stop me from doing things I want to do in my life. It is not a broken system. I'm not lying to you. It's either you stay in the ward unit for 9 years if you are, because I still get out. I can still work, and function, or get demoted to the point where you could have 6 years and you could have 3 years. You have to start acting right. Acting like a human being. That actually has a bit of a degree of empathy. Something. Your system. Something. So this is really the whole. This is what I call the system. I was there. I was working in units as a child for 3 years. I was there because I was 14 years old. 14, 15, 16. 16 years old. So 14, 15, 16. That was enough for them to get me out at 15 years old. So 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 years old, you can get out. Because we were sick. Some of you are sick, no, 16. So you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22 years until you get out. You get out. It's not prison. It's not luxury either. Your fantasy is my reality because I cannot have you making me go here, do this. No, I'm a grown fucking man. I come from a place where we respect people. You don't have respect for anyone. And when you get out there and you get it, because this motion by a friend, because you can demote to 6 years, but you get to serve 3 years minimum. No, 6 years, 6 years maximum. So you can only limit yourself, to 2-to-1, to I'm not imprisoning people. I'm giving them the chance. Look, I maybe look. So I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking. 3 plus 3 is 6. Six is the local. Let me think. Three minimum, three maximum, six. If you're there for 6 years, I won't be surprised because you can have valid behavior anyway. But let me see for 3 years for now because it can be 6 years, 3 to 6 years. Because 3 years is the maximum for now. It's not there for 3 years. But I don't want to be there. My I don't want to be there wasting my time and relationship. Because I don't want to go from here to Japan. 'Cause I want to life living in the same. But I was born in time, so I don't really when your problem, just with the kind of space, actual space. But if you one way, once you're able to, when you stay there, that's the only thing I'm saying. And you're only there for 9 years, so you can stop killing people and stop causing hassle. That's the goal. It's not a crime, because you get the most, you get leave, you can come back and do your crime. But you want to come into Muko West, you cannot come into Muko West. You cannot. It's not your paradise. Go and find somewhere else you're going to. Somewhere like a place, some kind of country. I'm saying. But not my constitution, because I'm not a stupid person. I don't build this for the sake of you guys to come and ruin my bill. You know what I'm saying? Just keep all you bad people out, you stupid people out. Only people that don't sense. Oh, the white people, the black people, the people in prison, people that think that they're smarter than me. All my friends and family I've lost. Only people that should care about me has to be inside. Because they're outside. I'm expanding them to the zones. It has to be done properly. That's what I'm saying. So, posted and posted. So it's to protect the most vulnerable people. Look at us, protect the most vulnerable people in society, like new developing people. They're not me, old people, young people, vulnerable in society. Protect and preserve them, the aura, preserve their spirits of the masquerade. So Muko OS stands for, so you get Mu, M for Mike, U for Mala, which stands Mu stands for spirits, like a muon, but Mu, M for Mike, U for Mala, O for orange, and Mu stands for spirit, and Njiko stands for connections, N for Nova, J for jam, I for go, K for kilo, or Pascal. Njiko, so Muko stands for spirit connections, or masquerades. Masquerades, people that want to masquerade, you can stop harassing them. So, and the formal proof, GitHub the current forth of Muko UX. So next. So like the last second. So you have to understand that I'm not joking with anyone here when I say it, but that's what I'm building. I'm building my own utopia. I'm building my own, not for you, for me. For me, so you can stop harassing me. I'm like, even 24 now, you're still harassing my house situation. I'm like tired of it. I'm going to France to do my Eurostar, to go to France to do my human rights, to the European Court of Human Rights. And from there, I'll go to Nigeria. But I'm taking all my belongings with me. I'm going to be there for 2 months. 2 months to solve my human rights case for 1.2 billion, which is what it's worth. It's worth that money. I'm going to get the money, maybe get less than it, but if it's going to be 1 million, it's going to be up to 1 billion minimum, because I'm charging you from Human Rights UK. I'm charging you system and oppress me, and the thing's all right. The thing is nothing can do. No, because I'm charging you. I'm charging from a whole human rights. There's something we can all do. All still have hands, legs, and feet. I'm fine. Leave me alone. So that's what I'm saying. So, it's not a place to steal anything. You don't protect people that steal. No, don't come and steal my constitution. No stealing is very important. I hate stealing. No stealing is very positive because you don't steal anything. Just get your own things. Everyone should have their own things. It's very positive too. No white people. No people, no white people. I don't want anybody to white because that scares me. Guys, that just scares me. Use of phobia because I remember the UK, I remember the Nigeria. No, it scares me. I don't want anybody to white, but I'm not being rude on me. It's just because I am autistic. I see patterns. I see patterns. Well, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't have proof. So let me not say that. Let me go there. Until I know what I'm saying. So, Sensotology, paramorphology, so which act on some beliefs. So paramorphology, so as a field, so all the when we constitution of being Christian, you're free to do anything. I want to have more sex, but I don't want to force it on because I'm a young man. So I want I had a fantasy when I was young. I had friends that were young and they were very young, but that was a long time ago. I can't remember their names in Nigeria, but they were homos with that. So I wouldn't say they were having sex. I'll say they were homos with them. They were feminine. They were homos with them. And I was like, kids, stop this. Cause the baby, but I never seen that happen. So I don't think kids will kill each other, but I think it's a good idea. But I just don't want to say anything about that because I'm not them. I'm not asking what I've done. So I'll just find out a bit more research on parasitology. So Nico, and for my people. So that's obviously today. I'm going to eat now. I'm going to have my dinner, my breakfast now. I'm going to do some work. So let me upload video to my TikTok and YouTube. So this is a video on heartless systems. My logo is basically a heart, a curved heart. So it's basically the opposite of my Miko. So you have done so. You get Miko is the operating system, and get Miko is the community system. You can have other constitutions, or other physical constitutions there, that actually follow the legislation. So Miko is just the most advanced one, the most technical one, and the most sovereign one. The first one, the time only first one. That's Nuka OS for you guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. On the update. Oh yes, the cousin problem. So the cousin problem, the cousin hypothesis, no problem, is that based on centrality model, or centrality model of graph theory, there is a new divergent pathology that emerges based on knowing who your cousin is. So if your cousin basically your distant relative, you distant relative is called your cousin or your aunt. So your cousin and your aunt is gonna be a problem if the cousin and your aunt doesn't address the problem of status quo. So if you are disabled, one of you so it's either you or your cousin is disabled, one of you have a pathology. If none of you have a pathology, then you have a degree sensitivity of one. So I have an aunt. I have an aunt. No, I have my mom's dad, my mom's sister, son, daughter. My mom's sister's daughter doesn't have pathology. My mom's sister, cousin doesn't have pathology. We don't have disease in the family, so we are fine. So how I have a degree of zero. So a pathology degree of zero, because if disability emerges from no reason, there was a study why disability comes, but I've never seen a disability. So it's a measure of degree, graph degree and graph intelligence. Here, basically, degree. The term degree is A star, and the term and Dijkstra is a centrality algorithm. So A star is a degree algorithm. Dijkstra is a centrality algorithm, and PageRank is one of the algorithms of graph theory. So PageRank. So I'm trying to rank degree centrality based on degree. So degree of node one, degree one is degree one, or A star one is when you have disability is degree of one. So you have the person degree of disability of a factor of negative one. Of one. That means degree of negative one. That means we don't understand why this person has a disability. But the more distance you get the cards, the more you can come with a negative two. So I'm trying to classify this as a disability in minority communities, why this happens. So, but I'm going to find out based on genetic polls, so the genetic makeup of them. So genotype and phenotype. So phenotype is the features they have, and genotype is the genetics, how the speech genetic structure of the phenotype. So the body, so why this happens. So you can find a solution to new divergence in BFS sovereignty. No bureaucracy in this project. That is the cousin hypothesis, because it's new divergence pathology or disability stems from cousins, distant cousins, or intermission based on cousins, not the family itself. Thank you for watching this video.